Is the beautiful game still beautiful, or has it become a stage for political theater? Today, the world of football stands at a crossroads. As we look ahead to the massive round of 16 clash between the United States and Belgium in Seattle, a shadow looms over the pitch. This is about the integrity of FIFA. Seems increasingly like a puppet master pulling strings for the powerful. What we are witnessing right now is not just a referee's decision. It is a blatant, unprecedented display of favoritism that threatens to shatter the credibility of the entire 2026 World Cup. Let us look at the facts. Folarin Balogun, the star striker for the United States, was handed a red card in the previous match against Bosnia. Under the rulebook, a document FIFA itself created and insists everyone follow, a red card means an automatic suspension. It is black and white. It is non-negotiable. Yet, just hours before the most critical match of the tournament for the host nation, the rules were magically rewritten. FIFA, in an act that can only be described as a complete capitulation to external pressure, suspended the suspension. They placed Balogun on probation, effectively clearing him to play against Belgium. This is not a common administrative quirk. This has only happened once before in history, back in 1962, with the legendary Garrincha. To see it happen now, under these specific circumstances, is nothing short of a scandal. Why did it happen? The answer, according to reports from leading outlets, leads directly to the Oval Office. President Trump reportedly placed a direct call to FIFA President Gianni Infantino, demanding a review of the ban. Shortly after, the decision was reversed, and the president took to social media to celebrate. This is the definition of political influence in sports. It is the definition of corruption, when the head of a superpower calls the head of a global sports organization, and the rules are bent instantly. The message sent to the rest of the world is loud and clear. The rules do not apply if you have the right connections. This incident is merely the tip of the iceberg in what has been a disastrous, controversy-ridden journey for FIFA World Cup 2026. From the very beginning, this tournament has been plagued by allegations of backroom deals, questionable infrastructure choices, and a complete lack of transparency. We have seen whispers of influence regarding venue selection and scheduling, but this latest development with Balogun takes it to a new level. It exposes a deep-seated rot within the organization. FIFA has repeatedly claimed to be an independent entity, free from political interference, but how can we possibly believe that when the evidence of bias is so glaring? The Belgian Royal Football Association is understandably furious. They have stated clearly that this decision violates FIFA's own regulations, specifically Article 66.4 and Article 10.5 of the World Cup guidelines. They are currently exploring every possible avenue for protest, and honestly, who can blame them? They are playing in a tournament where the goalposts seem to move, based on who is asking. Imagine the psychological toll this takes on the players. A team prepares for weeks, analyzing their opponent, only for the rules governing that opponent to be changed on the eve of the game. It is fundamentally unfair. It mocks the competitive spirit that sports are supposed to embody. Let us dig deeper into the relationship between the U.S. leadership and FIFA. Back in December, FIFA awarded President Trump the FIFA Peace Prize. At the time, many questioned the legitimacy of the award, wondering what exactly the criteria were. Now, in the light of this recent interference, the picture becomes clear. It is a relationship built on mutual convenience. FIFA secures its political safety and financial backing in the host nation, and in return, it provides favors that undermine the very principles it is sworn to protect. It is a symbiotic relationship of corruption. Why does this matter so much? Because FIFA is the arbiter of a game loved by billions. When that arbiter stops being neutral, the game stops being a sport and starts being a commodity. We have seen the patterns before. We have seen the accusations of bribery, the suspicious voting processes for host countries, and the utter disregard for human rights in previous host nations. We were promised that 2026 would be a new chapter, a clean slate. Instead, we are seeing the same old story, just played out on a bigger stage. The sheer audacity of reversing a red card decision just before a match is an insult to every other nation participating in this tournament. It is a slap in the face to Belgium, a slap in the face to the referees who are trying to maintain order on the pitch, and most importantly, a slap in the face to the fans who believe in a fair competition. Consider the implications. If a red card can be reversed because of a phone call, what else can be changed? Can the penalty box size be altered? Can a goal be disallowed because a head of state complained? This sets a precedent that effectively destroys the authority of officials on the ground. If an official knows that their decision can be overridden by political pressure, they will no longer be free to call the game as they see it. They will be looking over their shoulders, wondering if their call will anger the wrong person. This leads to biased officiating, which we are already seeing throughout the tournament. The media has been cautious, calling this unprecedented, and noting that direct influence cannot be confirmed. But we know what we are seeing. We have eyes. We see the timing of the call, we see the immediate reversal, and we see the celebratory rhetoric. To ignore the causality here is to be willfully blind. This is a clear case of nepotism and corruption disguised as administrative discretion. FIFA is prioritizing its relationship with the host nation's administration over the basic tenets of fair play. As we approach the match in Seattle, the narrative has shifted completely. The focus is no longer on the skill of the US or the tactical acumen of Belgium. The fans in the stadium and the millions watching at home deserve better. They deserve to see a match decided by the players on the grass, not by the influence of politicians in the halls of power. We must also ask, where is the outrage from the global football community? Why are we not seeing a unified front against this blatant disregard for the rules? Is it fear? Fear of losing funding, fear of exclusion, or fear of reprisal from the most powerful organization in world football? The silence from many prominent figures is deafening. They know that to speak out is to put themselves in the crosshairs of an organization that controls the lifeblood of the sport. The path to 2026 was supposed to be a journey towards footballing excellence in the Americas. Instead, it has become a masterclass in how to erode trust. The blunders, the delays in logistics, the questionable ticket pricing, and now it is a continuous degradation of standards. Every time FIFA thinks they can get away with it, they push the boundary a little further. They test the tolerance of the public, and so far, they have found that the public is largely powerless to stop them. We need to start demanding real, systemic change. We need an independent body, one that is not beholden to political interests, to oversee the governance of FIFA. We need transparency in every decision-making process, especially when it involves disciplinary matters. We need a system where no one, regardless of their title or influence, can pick up a phone and sway the outcome of a match. The Belgium versus USA game has become a symbol. It is no longer just a match. It is a test of whether integrity still exists in international football. If we accept this without a fight, we are accepting that football is just another game of politics, rigged for those with the most influence. We owe it to the history of the sport, to the legends who played with integrity, and to the future generations of players to demand better. FIFA is currently on a trajectory that will lead to the complete loss of public faith. If they continue to allow political influence to dictate their decisions, they will find that the love fans have for the game will turn into resentment. And once that trust is gone, it is nearly impossible to earn back. They are playing a dangerous game, one that could eventually strip them of their legitimacy entirely. The incident with Balogun is not an isolated event. It is the inevitable outcome of a system built on bias. When you create an organization that concentrates so much power without adequate checks and balances, corruption is the natural byproduct. FIFA has thrived on this lack of accountability for decades, and until we, the people who watch and support the game, say, enough is enough, nothing will change. As we look toward the final stages of the World Cup, let us keep our eyes peeled. Watch for the decisions that do not make sense. Watch for the teams that seem to get all the benefit of the doubt. Watch for the influence of the powerful. The signs of a compromised tournament are everywhere, if you know where to look. Let us not be distracted by the spectacle. Let us look at what is happening beneath the surface. This is not just about one match or one player. It is about the future of football. It is about whether the game remains a fair competition or becomes a tool for political posturing. The power is in our hands to demand accountability. We can continue to support the game while simultaneously rejecting the corruption that has infested its governing body. It is time for a new era of transparency, a time to strip away the layers of political favoritism, and a time to restore the integrity that the game so desperately needs. The world will be watching in Seattle.